your mother. It's time for another episode of Birds with Friends. Just a trio of feathery brethren weathering any season to see the Eagles eating teams like Scrammy's top with cheese. It's Philadelphia. Bo, Sheila, and Zach kicking it cooler than three penguins till Zach runs off with his valet keys. He's a real nuanced goose. Pull up a branch, get loose. It's time for some juice on some
Birds with Friends.
The early bird gets the worm, but prefers getting turned like a turn on some
Birds with Friends.
Bo, Sheila, and Zach coming at you with steps and things flapping their wings on.
Statistics, they can be like bathing suits. What they,
Finish it up. Sometimes you gotta take them off.
What the hell?
what they show is revealing, but what they conceal is vital, right? So,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Birds with Friends on a Thursday afternoon, our preview edition of Birds with Friends. Bo Wolf, Zach Berman, and Sheila Kapadia, Marissa Morris, and the sickos in the live chat. Lots to talk about. Most importantly, I think Sheila and Marissa and I rocking our Brewers gear, supporting Ben Harris, DFOP Ben Harris. Let's go Brew Crew, take out the Braves, right?
Since my Yankees are out, I'm all on Brewers and the Rays.
If that's who they're playing, then yeah, take down the Braves. Let's go Brewers. If you're looking for ZB,
sorry, go ahead.
If you're looking for ZB and the Wolf, of course, you can go to the Athletics YouTube page and go ahead and watch this week's episode there. Give it a thumbs up, give it a comment. Usually when I berate the listeners, it works. I'll say, the sickos in the chat, you've done a good job. A lot of you, I think, have already been in there, but I need more volume. I would say about 1/8 of our audience is going there and helping us out there. So listen, if the numbers, are not great on that, we'll quit the segment. We'll quit the show. We'll quit we have a lot of leverage here that we could pull. So just do us a favor. I'm sure Bo and Zach will start this episode with some news that no one cares about. Take that time. Go to the Athletics YouTube page, give it a like, give it a comment, send it to your friends, and we'll go from there.
We got to unpack this a little bit because we're angry at both sides, right? We want more people listening, more people watching, but we're also not super happy with the suits, with the way that this last ZB.
Speak for yourself. No we there. Okay, I'm very happy with the suits.
Should I roll the clip?
As Zach said, well, no, I think we can unpack this. We've got a lot to get to. We've got Sheila's going to give us the peek behind the scenes at the Panthers. We'll talk about the game. We'll do Swooper Swordcasting. If you remember in the chat what it was I said in the post-game pod that we needed to make a Swooper Swordcasting this week, please let us know. I cannot remember what it was. But ZB and the Wolf, we busted it out, and we found the line. We found the line that we have crossed, and we ZB and the Wolf a little bit censored, a little bit too hot for the streets. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like they've clipped our wings?
Well, listen, they have right now they can say, listen, there's not a lot of people. Oh, sorry. Were you?
No, you can keep talking. You can keep talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right now, since the numbers aren't popping, this is what happens. You have no leverage. So they can say, the suits can censor us a little bit, say, sorry, that's not going in there. Talk to us when you've grown a larger audience for this tremendous show on YouTube, and you can't say anything back. That's why, once we get very popular, then we can put, some of these big wigs in media, they go right at their bosses, right at the suits a little bit. So once we get to that point, we'll be able to do it. Zach looks frightened.
We need your help to help us make this as spicy as possible. But because of that, we will entice you. I was able to pull some strings with an anonymous person who will not be named, who was able to capture the part of ZB and the Wolf this week that was edited out because it was deemed too hot to handle.
Too spicy. I like the move by Bill Belichick. I know you two are not the biggest proponents of analytics. To me, you don't even have to look at the data.
The first four letters are all you need to know.
Okay, I'm going to go. All right, I'm going to go with just a very simple rule, Wolfman, that, I think you'll appreciate this. You don't need any spreadsheets.
So there you have it.
Too much.
Analytics. That's the line.
Getting us in trouble, just like they've gotten the Eagles in trouble at times.
That's exactly right. All right,
the amazing thing is that Bo is so clever that just pulls that off
right there in the blink of an eye, right? And by the way, it's one thing to think that, or like to have that joke on the tip of your tongue. It's another thing to just be so willing to say.
I don't know why your mind's in the gutter. It could be about being anal about the details. It
could be. But my point is that I would be like debating it back and forth.
All right. Well, let's get into the news and notes. Everything we need to know. Zach, what's the latest going on at the NovaCare complex? If you don't mind stepping into the role of the Stone Cold Newsman.
The Eagles were back on the practice field this afternoon. They continue to practice without Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson is absent because of a personal matter. As we discussed on Tuesday's podcast, the team is not going into any more details on that personal matter. What we can tell you is that the Eagles practiced for the second consecutive day without their starting right tackle. As far as injuries are concerned, there are a few things to I suppose monitor here. Quez Watkins being one of them, Jordan Mailata being one of them. Jordan Mailata is probably the most pressing one. He was limited in Wednesday's practice. We will see what I imagine we'll get the injury report. But there is a chance that he could play on Sunday, although I can tell you visually, he's wearing this big brace on his knee. I know Roddy McLeod plays with such a brace, but you're curious to see where
lots of offensive linemen play with that brace, right?
Yeah, where Mailata is in his recovery, and the different combinations that the Eagles could have on the offensive line. Outside of that, there were some rest injuries. There are some limited players, but I don't think there's anything too worrisome at this point. I think Lane Johnson's status and Jordan Mailata's status are the two to watch.
So your guess, Zach, is that Lane will not play this week, right? I mean, that would be my guess. Is that fair?
That would be my guess as well at this point.
Whatever is going on that has kept him out this long, I would imagine it's going to keep him out another few days. And with Mailata, they could do Mailata at left tackle and Dillard at right tackle. My guess is they would do what makes both guys more comfortable is Dillard at the left and Mailata at the right?
I don't know. I frankly think they would go Mailata at left tackle. I think they'd go Driscoll at right tackle, and I think they'd go Herbig at right guard.
Really?
So you think they would move Mailata from left to right?
Yeah, that's what they should do.
I think they would do Dillard at left tackle, Mailata at right tackle, and Driscoll at right guard.
Now, if Mailata hadn't CTC'd already, then you might have some. Well, I need to get my reps at left tackle to get that money. He already got his money, and so I think your best five would be. I think Dillard has played pretty well at left tackle. Mailata has shown in the past that you do have a point. I don't know how many reps he's gotten at right tackle. I think. Depending on the offensive lineman, it can be not that big of a deal or a very big deal to switch sides.
Stout literally said this when he was talking about Dillard a couple weeks ago. He was talking about how Dillard, it's harder for him because he's played left tackle his entire career, whereas with Jordan, it's easy because he doesn't have the built-in reps. He's like, He can flip-flop very easily.
Yeah. So, I would think that would make the most. I mean, that's not a bad set of starting tackles, honestly. That I would say if you compared that Mailata and Dillard, even with Lane Johnson out, like league wide, I would put that as an above average pairing of offensive tackles.
And then you'd go Driscoll at right guard in that situation?
Well, I'm only saying that because that's what they were going to do last week.
Sure.
Until Lane Johnson wasn't available.
I think they like Jack Driscoll more than they like Nate Herbig.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, one of them was a 4th round pick. The other is an undrafted guy.
Herbig is an interesting guy. I mean, I come out to those joint practices and I'm going, this guy cannot last.
I know.
And then there are reps in that game where he's just like, stoning. So I'm not saying he was perfect. I mean, there were a couple issues in pass protection, but then there are reps where it's like him against a big, strong, powerful man, and he's just got that guy locked down. So
he's funny. Like you don't
gamer. You don't see
body types. You don't see body types like Nate Herbig around the NFL that much these days. He's a fun guy, and he's always looks exhausted when he's playing.
But he makes it through the games. He's
Yeah,
not,
he
you know,
does.
it's not like, oh my gosh, fourth quarter's coming around.
I remember
Herbig's going to give up 3 sacks or something.
this last game, watching him go into the locker room for halftime. He's just looks toast. He's just like barely moving, but you know, he gets it done.
Powers throw.
Yeah.
But as you guys are saying, it does make sense. If you're going to go with your top 5, I would put Dillard at left tackle, and I would put Mailata at right tackle. And I also don't think Jordan's the type of person where he'd be resistant to that, right? Like he'd be willing to do that. That said, there is, you know, a status that comes with being the left tackle. As Sheil mentioned, he did sign that contract, but usually when you are like the franchise left tackle, you want to be the if you're able to play left tackle, you play left tackle.
No,
well,
come on.
He's already got paid.
The check's still clear, ZB.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Sure.
if they want to, you know, give me some kind of bump and then bump me down to junior NFL writer, listen, as long as the checks
What
are
a
clear,
flex.
it's all good.
Well, here's the thing. That is true. What's interesting about this is, you know, it's also sort of a look to see what their offensive line could look like moving forward. I mean, Lane Johnson's no spring chicken. So it's possible that Dillard at left tackle and Mailata at right tackle is the long-term answer here.
It could be. I mean, especially if they think Dillard can be good, sure.
Yeah. Okay. One thing you neglected to mention, Zach, and I know this maybe wasn't quite on your radar, but there was a press conference yesterday where something happened that you and I continued to lock eyes because something happened.
Correct.
And I believe we do have
This
video
sounds spicy.
and audio evidence of this. Let's go to the videotape.
Understand how your responsibilities are different. Like, you know, from if you're looking at it, like we're kind of accustomed to seeing you like
What a reporter.
pierced into
Who
the
is this?
backfield more, or you know, or split a double team more, or something like that. So can you just help us understand what you're
I mean, you're
responsible?
watching the same tape I'm watching, right? I think things are different. Got some different players and a different scheme, so it is what it is.
Can you help explain it though, just so we have an understanding of it?
I mean, sometimes I'm playing a three technique, sometimes I'm playing a 4-eye. I mean, it's just one of them things where it's just hard to get settled in a game when you're playing so many positions and doing so many things.
Nice sound effect, Marissa.
Cha-ching!
Outstanding.
Big hit. Yeah, fantastic work by our superstar producer, Marissa Morris. So I hit on a what was it? The Crystal Bald Eagle predictions? Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
according to a source, who asked the initial question there? And what was the initial question?
Well, I believe Jeff McClain had asked. That was not even the full thing. It had already been discussed earlier in the press conference, but it was a great job by by Shields' favorite reporter, Tim McManus.
I mean,
for
did you see how
really
he didn't? Did you
pounding
see
it
how
out.
he didn't take no for an answer? There?
He knew.
Fletcher
I mean,
tries
Tim,
to get
what-
out of it, and Tim says, "I don't think so." You know, you got to have that bulldog in you.
I gotta say, you know, maybe the love fest between you and Tim is not as reciprocated as you think it is, because Tim was doing that, as far as I'm concerned, because he knew that he was trying to get points for me. So maybe I'm his favorite Birds with Friends host.
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, probably not. So thank you to Tim for sticking it to it. An early lead for me, and thanks to Dennis for keeping track of that. All right, anything else on the news front here, Zach? You know, we talked about the offensive line. What it could
Zach
be.
has never looked more bored by an episode.
No.
What is
No,
going
I'm bored
on?
out.
Are you waiting on something, or is something? Are you okay?
Is there a
you
problem with
looked
my
at-
face here?
No, you just looked.
No.
You look bored and disgusted by Bo explaining his.
Neither bored
I
nor
respect
disgusted.
that.
Yeah.
I respect
No, I'm listening intently to. It's not as if we get a rundown for this podcast. By the way, oftentimes,
Good
like,
point. Now we're
you
talking.
know, like when you watch PTI, you know exactly where it's going, right?
That's
Why
right.
that's why they put it on the screen.
Yeah.
This it's like an improv act. Things are just pulled out as we roll here. So.
It's Bo's show, like you've said, right? I mean, we try to add some organization, and he says, "No, it's cool, I got it." And the next thing you know, we have no idea what's going on.
I mean, it's the same format every week. You guys know what's going on.
Listen, I like this side of Zach, and I'm going to pull more and more out of him as the episodes go on. It's about time.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
I thought it was going to come out during the post-game pod when you were doing the annoying who threw for more passing yards or whatever. I mean, I thought, I was like, if Zach just throws his headphones down and quits this, that would be totally reasonable.
Well, everybody is very interested to see how Zach rebounds this week in Super Storecasting.
Oh, maybe that's why he's got that face on.
What his turkey spending habits are going to be like. So maybe he's very focused.
I actually did think about it the other day. Trying to think what's the best strategy, and what I was most frustrated about was deviating from my core beliefs last week, right? Like I had a philosophy. You guys teased me for it, but it was something that I felt strongly about, and I deviated from it because a wise man avoids all extremes, right? As Nick Sirianni likes to say. And I
tell that to your defensive coordinator, Nick, by the way. I was thinking about that recently.
Yeah. And I'm going, I said I'm going to pounce.
Good point.
And it clearly backfired. So, I'm okay losing when I lose with like what I believe in. When I lose with what I don't believe in, that's a tougher way to do it.
Naya, it's hard to know how to teach your kids the right way to lose. Like if she loses something at home, she's willing, she's ready to like throw me out the house, punch me in the, but she had like a soccer thing yesterday and she'll have like a nice play. And then she'll like say to the opponent, you did a great job there. Like she's always making small talk or like, I don't know. I don't need to teach her the Mamba mentality, right? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Then later I'm like, cause I thought, she scored in like this practice thing, and I thought she was telling her teammate good pass. So I was like, I like the goal, and I also like, that's what you got to do when your teammate sets you up. You got to go over the top with praise for him. And she goes, no, actually, I was telling the opponent, the girl on the other team, that she did a great job. She's like, because she did. It would have been rude not to. I'm like, okay, yeah,
that's the Andrew Luck. Yeah, that's the Andrew Luck method.
That's true. Okay,
it's next level. So it's like it's going to be harder for the opponent to play against her like with vigor if they know that
true.
She's
they
so
won't
nice.
Be cutthroat. Okay,
yeah,
right. And that's next level. All
Catch
right,
more flies with honey, right?
I wasn't sure if I needed to,
Now we never asked how Naya's birthday was. We followed up with Zach, but we didn't follow.
Fine.
Up with
I mean, it was. You think I remembered? It was like, was it last weekend?
Well,
it was last Friday.
We go back to season 1 of Birds with Friends. We know how much you like an ice cream cake. Did you get an ice cream cake?
No, they made homemade cake pops. Yeah, they were good.
Nice.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
I like
anything else news wise before we get onto the Panthers? Anything else we heard from players over the past couple of days that was interesting?
Devontae Smith looks for something in every practice to get better.
That's right. Your reporter sense was when just went off on that boy. Like, ooh, this is an angle that I can play.
It wasn't that. It was you try to like get any type of personality, right? You're sitting in these press conference settings. How often are you really seeing the way a guy's wired? Devontae Smith says that he doesn't get happy about good games or like doing good things. He
never focuses on the positive. He only focuses on the negative.
Yeah.
My kind of guy.
So I said, so then what makes you happy? He said, correcting mistakes. So,
but he was like smiling throughout the thing. I think he was having a good time.
Yeah. I think
there was an interesting thing with Alex Singleton too, when he was talking about the defensive philosophy, and how on board with it he is. Like he was calling plays for some, kids thing in the spring, and this is the defense that he was calling. Like, the more you can force the opponent to get down the field, like they're going to make a mistake eventually. He said, maybe Patrick Mahomes is going to have a perfect game, but I don't know. We'll see. Because I do wonder, with Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, these guys who are playing different roles, you do wonder how long there's going to be this buy-in, but Singleton's on board.
Well, this is like – I was just going to say this, like an age-old defensive philosophy question. Normally the defensive players are just built on aggression and taking it to the opponent, and this is like battling against those instincts, completely. Like, you're not getting up there and pressing them and, talking noise in their face.
So much more reactive.
You're not just firing off the ball and saying, I'm going to, crush whoever gets in my way like they're used to. So, and it's something I'm not saying it's the wrong philosophy, but you can sort of see how if it were to go sideways, I almost feel like the guys on that side of the ball might be more likely to pop off and be disgruntled than the offensive players.
Right. Well, that's what I asked. Like, is it hard to have that patience? Like, when you're getting these 10, 12 plays drives time after time, aren't you like, can we just blitz once, please? Like, I'm tired of this. So I don't know, something to pay attention to.
I wasn't in on Singleton, by the way, because I was speaking with Javon Hargrave, who was doing a press conference at it's called the mix zone. It's behind where. So I'm not ripping on the question. It was just a funny visual in my mind. The question for Hargrave was like, Fletcher's really struggling right now. You're playing so well. Do you ever go to Fletcher and like give him any tips? And I'm thinking like Fletcher.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, that's how I want to die.
Could you imagine if Javon Hargrave like saddles over to Fletcher? He's like, by the way, Fletcher. Yes, exactly. So it was. There's not like I'm not knocking the question. It was just I couldn't help but laugh because
that is very funny.
Like seeing like I just had in my mind's eye Fletcher.
Yeah.
Like
Like Milton Williams coming up to Fletch and be like,
exactly.
"Hey, have you thought about using your hands this way, Fletch?"
My guy, you get off there. It was
gets run over by a truck.
Yeah. And Javon, to his credit, was like, Fletcher's been doing this longer than I have. He doesn't need my tips. Yeah, so
that is pretty funny. All right, why don't we take a little break, and then on the other side, we will talk about this matchup, this Panthers team with Mr. National, Dr. Kapadia.
We're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without all the bad stuff. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. Build your own box. Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and maple waffle, my favorite. So, go to magicspoon.com/birds to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code BIRDS at checkout to save $5 off your first order. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/birds and use the code BIRDS to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Look, no one's perfect. Even the best baseball players strike out with bases loaded. The best golfers sometimes 3-putt with the tournament on the line. So if you feel like you come up short in the bedroom sometimes, it's perfectly okay. But if it's bothering you, there are options. Go to GetRoman.com/BWF now. With Roman, you can get free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. And getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/BWF and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/BWF now to get $15 off your first month. Look, there's a straightforward way to take care of your ED. GetRoman.com/BWF. Get started now to save $15 on your first month of treatment.
Back on Birds with Friends. For those of you in the live chat, make sure you are submitting your prompts for Swooper Storecasting. We'll take 3, although I think we're only going to take 2 because we have found out the one that we said on the postgame pod the other night, thanks to a listener. Sam Darnold puts up 40 points. So Just so you guys know, that's going to be one of the 12 prompts. All right, let's talk about this Panthers team. And because we were just talking about the Eagles defense, why don't we talk about the Panthers offense? And I was a little bit surprised to see just where they rank DVOA wise, because they've been getting gassed up a little bit, 19th in DVOA. And, it's a fair litmus test for this Eagles defense after they've played 3 of the top 10 DVOA offenses the last 3 weeks. Kansas City number 1, Dallas number 3, San Francisco number 7. What are we talking about matchup wise here, Sheila? I know they've got our boy, the former official wide receiver of Birds with Friends, DJ Moore. What else do they have?
Terps. Marissa's giving the thumbs up for the Terp. He's really,
Philly guy.
He
hits it
Terp, and Bo and I agreed on him as a prospect. There may never be another wide receiver prospect that's more Birds with Friends than him. I didn't know that was their DVOA ranking. That doesn't surprise me. I don't know who's. I guess some people are gassing up Darnold.
Not to say that I thought they were going to be top 10. Okay. I just thought they were going to be a little bit, top half of the league.
Yeah, no, I think they've been very mediocre offensively. Darnold has been better than he was with the Jets. I feel like when Darnold knows where to go with the ball and is getting rid of it and understands what he's seeing, I don't know if in a rhythm is the right word, but he's pretty good there. When he is trying to make a second reaction play, if you're a Panthers fan, you should be frightened, because it almost always, I feel like, either leads to something that is bad or leads to something that, could be bad, that he kind of gets away with it. He's not someone you want just scrambling outside the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. I would rather him just kill the play if I were the Panthers or the Panthers coaching staff. So DJ Moore is awesome. Complete wide receiver, fast, yards after the catch, can hit you vertically, can hit you in the short game on a little wide receiver screen, take it to the house. So love a DJ Moore. Robbie Anderson's been a little quiet this year, but obviously, has the wheels to be a deep threat. Why do you look confused, Bo? Is he out or something?
No, we got another troll in the chat, and he's asking me about the collar on the shirt, which I have worn 3 times. The collar is fine.
Oh, I haven't noticed anything about the collar.
Find a new slant.
Okay. Robbie Anderson, another wide receiver there. Their O-line is Garbanzo Beans. If ever there were a game for Fletcher Cox to come out and have 2 sacks and then say, stick this in your pipe and smoke it, is that people say that? No.
Once upon a time.
I don't think Fletcher Cox is going to say that, but something like that.
This was when I think of a Fletcher Cox game, the game I think about is that Thursday night game in the 2017 season in Carolina.
That was a fun one.
You consider that the Fletcher Cox game?
I do.
That's interesting.
He was coming back off injury. It was we thought it was a stretch for him to play. He was questionable, and he dominated that game. I got my foot run over before the game by the Lyft driver.
All right, I've never seen a coworker in worse shape in a press box than you that day. Between the night before and getting your foot run over,
no,
and you hadn't eaten all day.
That was a different one, I think.
Is this a Super Bowl year?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, the Thursday nighter in.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think there was a game.
Were there
where
multiple Panthers? Shape. Were there multiple Panthers games? No, I only went there once.
No.
I think.
But I think you're thinking of a different. I think maybe with Jacksonville. Did we do a Jacksonville?
I've never been to Jacksonville.
Okay.
So the Charlotte.
But I did get my foot run over.
I think of that as the Nigel Bradham game.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I knew.
Yeah, that was a Nigel Bradham game too.
He was amazing in that.
That's
game.
true. He was amazing.
And then he had that quote afterwards. He had that quote afterwards that the Panthers were like, "Who is he?" Or who are you? And he was so offended that they didn't know who he was.
That's right. And then he's running over and he's talking trash all game long.
He was fun. Yeah.
It was great.
They need to find it. They need to find a new Nigel Bradham. But where was I?
Their offensive.
No, you were on Fletcher Cox. You were on Fletcher Cox.
Right.
If they ever put it in your pipe and smoke it.
Yes. The Eagles' defensive line on paper should have a big advantage here, but after the way they played last week, I don't know that I'm comfortable totally saying that that's going to be the case, but I thought Josh Sweat did some nice things last week. Javon Hargrave, of course, continues to play well. His one sack last week was outstanding. I think
he's so good.
Brandon Thorne, the O-line, D-line guru, would name that. What does he call them? High quality sacks?
Or there's very high quality also.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that one was impressive. And then if Fletcher Cox is coming into this game saying, man, all week the storyline has been how much I got dominated last week by a rookie against the Chiefs, I'm going to come out and show everybody, then, you really could get to Sam Darnold in this game. So
there was some early speculation. I don't know if I would use the word excitement, but back in January that Joe Brady would be a candidate to watch for the Eagles. Of course, interviewed with the Eagles. When you watch this Panthers offense, are you impressed by Joe Brady?
Yeah, I like what Joe Brady has done so far. I mean, last year I didn't think, they're going in there with Teddy Bridgewater and they were a mediocre offense. I think for like the first half of last year, I was really impressed. Their offense was playing well. And even this year, I mean, I don't think Sam Darnold is going to be a great quarterback, but you can absolutely see that he's playing better now than he did in the previous regime. So I like the, do more with less type play callers on both offense and defense. And like their offensive line by any measure would be like a bottom, bottom 5, bottom 10 unit. They do have obviously good skill positions. Sam Darnold, no one would really consider him an above average quarterback. And so it's only 19th in DVOA. So I'm not going to, totally gas him up, but I think he's been pretty good.
So real quick, Joe Brady thing. So when you watch LSU, for instance, now, like they're really struggling. And so there's a lot of stories that, well, it was really Joe Brady, right? Like Joe Brady was the magic there, not Ed Orgeron. But then when you watch the Cincinnati Bengals play, you're like, man, Joe Burrow is really good. Maybe it was Joe Burrow who is the secret sauce and not Joe Brady.
I was once on a plane with Joe Brady.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What was his attitude?
Somebody recognized
Senior Bowl?
Coming back from the Senior Bowl. I think his girlfriend or fiance or something is from the Philly area, something like that. Oh, somebody recognized him. I didn't recognize him.
Wow, that's a ZB nugget right there. You know where his girlfriend or wife is from. For the Panthers offensive coordinator. What the hell's the matter with you?
That's one for me.
Joe, sorry if you're listening. We're not all, creeps like these two.
Hope Joe Person asks him about it.
All right.
Okay. Big fan of Joe Person. Great beat writer. Man.
Old school beat guy.
Yeah, but now that's
Phillies fan, Joe Person.
Yep,
I feel
played
like
at William and Mary. And so did Joe Brady, by the way. Joe Brady played at William and Mary too. Small world. Yeah.
I just feel bad for the beat writers of the 4 teams who the Eagles have played the first 4 weeks because you didn't specifically call out how good those beat writers were.
That's not it at all. We brought up.
I'm just
Joe
pointing
Brady.
it out.
I mean, we could have talked about Nate Taylor last week. Nate Taylor does a good job in Kansas City. Like we can do this each week. It was the fact that you brought up.
All right,
Joe
power
Brady.
Rank the other the beat writers at the Athletic. All right, defense.
Okay.
Wait, real
defense.
Quick on Carolina's offense. I agree with what Shields said about that offensive line. I'm Christian McCaffrey. We spoke to Matt Rule on the phone today. He's hopeful he's going to play. That's obviously a big thing to watch. And then I'm curious about the development of some of these rookie skill guys. I haven't watched too much Panthers. When I went through it a bit, was more impressed than I expected with Tommy Tremble. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Tommy Tremble.
Tommy Tremble.
Yeah, Tremble.
I like a Tommy Tremble.
The concussion uncles love a Tommy Tremble.
Love a Tremble.
They traded Dan Arnold last week. Obviously, they got C.J. Henderson.
They traded Darnold?
They traded Dan Arnold to open up, but that essentially opened up playing time for Tommy Tremble. So was impressed with what I saw there. Haven't been as impressed as I expected with Terrace Marshall. Big Terrace Marshall guy coming out of college, or quite literally a short one. But I was impressed by his work. So anyways, I'm curious to see those 2 skill guys in action.
Wait, is there a chance that McCaffrey plays in this game?
Yes.
Oh,
I think he's been limited at practice, right?
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Well, that would be
it ruled.
The Eagles own a Christian McCaffrey, though.
That's true.
Every time the Eagles play him, they shut him down. Every other game, he looks like the best player on the field.
I believe Christian McCaffrey was a Oscar the Grouse garbage player of the game in the 2017 season. So he's rebounded well, but
the Eagles really liked him in the
mark on
2017 draft.
record.
Like You know, like when you hear how the Eagles would never take a running back in the first round. If Christian McCaffrey was there at the 14th overall pick that year, they would have taken Christian McCaffrey, I believe.
Or they would have traded down.
No, I think they would have taken McCaffrey.
Okay. I just from a big picture standpoint, I am like very interested to see how the defense does this week. Like, this is an offense that should not be able to dominate them as they have been dominated the past 2 weeks. Let's see them, you know, whether they're staying in these vanilla coverages or not. Let's see them actually do something.
Yeah, I think they should play well. There's really no excuse for them not to play much better in this game. I mean, I could see them having a huge game, but at the very least, they should be like competent. You know, we shouldn't be coming out of this game saying the defense got torched. That would be very concerning to me. And
on the flip side, you know, coming off a week in which you played the worst defense in the league by most measures, you've got a very good Panthers defense, 4th in DVOA, 5th against the pass, 8th against the rush, and they've got another one of our favorites, Sheila, one of the guys we agreed on. We both loved Brian Burns, and boy, has that turned out well.
Yeah, Brian Burns is outstanding. He is just like a ridiculous athlete. It's the what did the draft guys say? The bend, you know, like bend is it the ankle flexion where he's just
love a flexion.
He turns the corner and he's like me sleeping on my side in bed practically. And he just keeps going forward and sacks the quarterback. So Brian Burns, whether it's Andre Dillard or Jordan Mailata or whoever he's lining up against, that is the guy to watch with their pass rush. I thought they got a nice free agency deal with another Temple product in Hassan Reddick, who had a nice year last year for the Cardinals. I thought there was going to be some more interest in him in free agency. There wasn't. They got
that was weird.
On a 1-year deal. Jeremy Chin, like they have some of these crazy, freaky athletes, you know, between Chin, Reddick,
on that defense.
And Burns. This is like a spark. This is a spark team. And the Shaq Thompson was also one of those guys, but he's out now. But he had been playing like much better than I ever remember him playing for them. So they've got some guys there. They traded for CJ Henderson. So he played last week. He'll be one of your corners. They traded for Stephon Gilmore. He's not going to play in this game. So they blitz a lot. I think they're second highest in blitz frequency. But I think the thing that the film grinders were loving from a Phil Snow early on were those sim pressures where they're, you know, as Zach knows from when the Eagles play the Vikings, a little mug in the A-gaps, a little
sugar on the A-gap.
A little sugar on the A-gap. So have somebody come up there, and then maybe you're only rushing 4, but you've already messed with the offense's protection, and so you kind of get what you want there. You can still drop 7 into coverage, but you can still get after the quarterback because the O-line is confused. So this is like a study. You really have to know what's coming and communicate, that kind of thing type game for the offensive line.
And Phil Snow's getting a lot of buzz, not as like a head coaching candidate. He's 65 years old, but as a really good coordinator. Well, usually 65-year-olds are not like, no, they're not high on the coordinator list. But Phil Snow's he's done a really good job there. He did a really good job in college. He was the coordinator at Baylor for Matt Rule, the coordinator at Temple for Matt Rule. I mean, he was a coordinator back, I believe, at UCLA a long time ago. But anyways, Matt Rule was saying that when he got the Temple job, he really wanted Snow, and he said what he really likes about Snow is, like, you know how and Jonathan Gannon has said this week that he doesn't have a scheme. Well, Matt Rule was saying that when Phil Snow was at Temple, it was like a 3-4, and then when they were at Baylor, it was like a 3-2-6 dime, right? And he said now they're in like this almost this hybrid defense, right? And he really likes how Phil Snow just adapts to his personnel. So I bring that up because that's a big topic this week. Do you come in with a scheme, or do you look at your players and try to figure out how to maximize those players?
Yeah, and they really showed that last year. They didn't have any corners, and they, I think, were the most zone-heavy team in the NFL. And so I know when they went into the offseason, one of their priorities, they're like, we got to get some talented corner. So even, we might not be the most high percentage man coverage team, but if it's 3rd and 5 and we need to play man coverage, we need to be able to do that more than we did last year. So I think they are doing more stuff this year.
Here's a flex. Rachel Wolf can do like word for word the first couple verses of Snow's Informer.
Info.
Boom, boom, down.
All right, we'll go get her. Is she working from
She's
home?
not here right now. No.
Okay.
So
Sorry to the audience. I mean, really, what a tease. Let's.
Well, they're talking about it. They're talking about the song in the chat, so that jogged my memory.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on this matchup, or should we get to super forecasting?
Yeah, no, pretty boring.
Well, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
I think I got my boy Bravion Wheeler. Double V.
Yeah,
Derek Brown. Yeah, they got some.
They're really fast. They're big up front, and they're really fast. So that's what jumps out about them. They're playing well, and a lot of Temple guys across the board there. Right?
Save it for Swooper. Save it for Swooper.
If you went to the Military Bowl in 2016, you'll love this game. So,
well, I will say that last week I thought that the score didn't totally reflect how that game was played. I mean, they were up 14-13 against the Cowboys early in the third quarter. They miss a long field goal. Dak Prescott makes a beautiful pass to Amari Cooper down the right sideline, and then things kind of snowballed there for the Panthers. But I thought they were
no pun intended. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty competitive in that game.
How often do you think that the snowball joke has come up in Phil Snow's life?
It's probably like when people ask me about the rain with Seattle, but like times 4,000.
So I don't know if this actually happened. Right. But, you know, I can always cling to a good anecdote, a good narrative. Right. So
I'm about to spew lies here, I guess.
No, the Panthers coaches one day are watching film of a defensive free agent. Right. Like preparing for the offseason. And Phil Snow is like, this quarterback, I can't get over this quarterback. He's really impressive. He can make some really good throws, you know, something like that. Oh, Sam Darnold, right? And so they were talking about Sam Darnold being on their radar, and Matt Rule was saying they were watching these defensive players, and Phil Snow was really impressed by Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think that is 100% made up. I mean, they tried to get Matthew Stafford. They tried to get Deshaun Watson. They decided they were not bringing Teddy Bridgewater back. And then after plans A, B, and C fell through, they landed on Sam Darnold. It felt like, to me at least. Maybe that anecdote did still happen, but I don't think that he was their first option.
Well, I would guess that there weren't that many good throws that Sam Darnold made last year. So my BS meter's going off as well.
I think that's true. I mean,
I'm sorry if that anecdote was if there was something lost in translation there. But
I hope that Phil Snow, like his next press conference, he addresses this. this did happen. All right, why don't we take our last commercial break, and we'll do Swooper Storecasting on the other side, and then our Crystal Ball Deagle predictions.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out BetterHelp.com/BWF. Life is full of stressors. It doesn't matter who you are or what you have. Life is probably stressful. It could be a relationship that you're in. It could be a busy time at work. It could be your kids or your family. You may not be feeling down and out and depressed or like you're at a total loss, but if your stress is high, your temper is shorter than usual, or even if you're starting to feel strain in any of your relationships, you could probably use a chance to unload the stress and just get it out. Talk to someone completely unbiased about your life, someone who's not going to judge you or take sides on anything. When there are things you can't tell anyone or feel like you can't unload the family or friends and you need to unload it, that's what therapy can be. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback. You'd be pretty surprised at what you might gain from it. See if it's for you. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Birds with Friends listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/BWF. That's BetterHelp.com/BWF.
It's no secret We talk about this all the time on Birds with Friends, right? Finding the motivation to work out and eat healthy it's tough. Who's got the time? You need some help. Well, guess what? MyFitnessPal is here to help you. And I know I also thought it was just for counting calories, but MyFitnessPal actually teaches you about nutrition and fitness habits and helps you create new ones that stick. What's more motivating than that? MyFitnessPal is not a rigid diet plan. Instead, you gradually learn from personalized data what works for you. And if your version of healthy looks different from mine or someone else's, that's okay. The whole point is helping you find the best path to your goals. Even better is a MyFitnessPal premium membership. I have one now, and I get custom tools and expert guidance to help me reach my personal health goals my way. App customization lets you choose the right settings to help you meet your individual goals. So if you're into macro tracking, low carb, heart health, etc., you can stick to it more easily. Premium's deeper nutritional insights help you discover which foods fuel you best. And with MyFitnessPal, you're not going it alone. You have access to guided daily workout and meal plans written by dietitians and exercise scientists. Plus, support from other members with shared goals and experiences. MyFitnessPal does way more than just count calories. Get the support you need to meet your health goals. Unlock all the amazing things MyFitnessPal can do, like I did. Start your premium membership today. Go to bwf.myfitnesspal.com and use code BWF to get a 1-month premium membership for free. That's BWF.MyFitnesspal.com. Use code BWF for a free 1-month premium membership. BWF.myfitnesspal.com. Get started, baby. All right. Back on Birds with Friends. Time for Super Sorecasting.
Wait, hold on. We need to get into your how you closed out the last pod. I feel like we probably should have led with this. You thought that this was like a huge game for Nick Sirianni, right? What was your take?
Yeah.
Explain. I want to get into that.
I think if they lose this game, they're presumably losing the next game. Then you go to Las Vegas the week after that. There's a good chance you're 1-6. And then, the season could snowball from there. I don't know. I think do you think there's a scenario in which they fire Nick Sirianni after 1 year? I do think that that's a possibility.
I don't.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's record dependent. By the way, I think it's more dependent on how they think this is going overall. I wouldn't bet on it occurring, but I think, and we've seen this in the past, that if Jeffrey Lurie thinks something needs to be done, he'll be aggressive in doing something.
I think it would need to be a case of Nick Sirianni either having issues with relationship players with issues, which I don't think is going to be the case. That seems to be one Definitely of the things he's fine with, or Nick Sirianni being a complete jerk to Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, which I don't think that's going to be the case either. Yeah. So I have a hard time seeing this. I think if the season went really south, and I don't know when you guys are talking about 3 wins or whatever it is, I think the more likely scenario would be that they would, then they would say, all right, Nick, here's what we're going to do going forward. This guy's out. We're going to bring this guy in. This guy's out. We're going to bring this guy in. You're going to follow. This guy's going to be in your ear for the in-game decision makings. We want to do X, Y, and Z. And okay, let's go ahead to 2022. I mean, that is what it would be. You would certainly get a reputation if you're firing Doug Peterson last year, and then you bring in Nick Sirianni for 1 year, and you're firing him and bring somebody else in. I mean, can Howie Roseman stay in that situation, or does Lurie just say, all right, we're blowing everything up here? I don't think any of that is going to happen after this season, regardless of how badly things go, unless there is like a specific thing like I just mentioned.
Well, also, I just want to make clear, we're not speculating on Sirianni's job security here, right? We're just saying like if things run really south. I think it's premature at week 5 of his first year to wonder if he's going to survive.
But I think one other thing to keep in mind is, I mean, they got a late start last year on the head coaching search. Nick Sirianni was not their first choice. They certainly didn't go into it thinking he was going to be the guy. I think if there is someone out there who they have their eye on, who is available, and they're able to make that move and pull that trigger with these potentially 3 first-round picks as an enticement, I think that's something that will be on Jeffrey Lurie's radar.
I would be very surprised by it.
Okay. I mean, I would be surprised too right now, but if they lose this game, it could get pretty ugly here.
Well, what were they expecting? I mean, really, what were they?
So I picked them to
start. What's going to happen this year?
Yeah, so I picked them to finish 1-5, or to start 1-5 and finish 7-10. So I thought these first 2 months were going to be tough. What Bo needs is an Eagles win on Sunday and then a loss Thursday, and then he hits,
vice versa,
or vice versa, because in our season
Crystal
predictions,
Eagle,
he has the Eagles winning week 1 and starting 2-4.
That's right. That was outrageous for Dennis, but to mark that as bold as he did, it's like up there in that. I mean, really, talk about having somebody in your pocket. I mean, I might have to look. I would say that I would, look for someone to replace Dennis, but there's no one else who's that sick that would do all this work.
The most irreplacable person.
He is irreplaceable, but just voicing my displeasure.
I think he was generous on some of yours too. So
absolutely not. I have to get 10 mentions of Zach and Bo this year. Unbelievable.
He was a very tough grader for me. There was no like grad hospital home cooking going on here, right? I mean, I need Nick Sirianni to mention his college or his high school 17 times this year, and that's worth less than them finishing or than them opening the season 2-4.
Yeah, I mean the 2-4 one was.
Yeah, that's home cooking.
Okay.
All right. So to get back to it, because we have Dennis keeping score. Sheil has 2 1/3 wins, and Zach and I both have 5/6. So 2.3 to 0.83, and we have Zach and I have 3 turkeys to carry over to this week. So 27 turkeys for this week alone. I'm sorry, that's wrong. You two both have 3 left. I have 1 left. So I have 25 turkeys. You both have 27 turkeys.
How does it feel that, I paid no attention to this. I sent Marissa the questions 2 minutes before. I have no,
mid-pod. You said that.
Yeah, mid-pod. I have no, economic background knowledge like ZB quoting all these people. And I'm just in here. Bo, you made up the game with the ridiculous rules. And I'm just in here whooping you guys.
I'd expect nothing more from a senior NFL writer.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long way to go.
All right, we ready to get this started? Okay, so this was submitted twice, so obviously we're only doing it once, but quite a theme of the episode. Let's start with Fletcher Cox has at least 1.0 sacks.
That's good. So 2 half sacks would count.
Yes.
Okay. 1,
2,
3,
4,
5.
Oh, you missed
6.
his face.
6.
7.
I'm out.
Bo?
That's expensive. I'm going to give that to you, Sheil.
All right, sold to Sheil for 7. Wow, we're starting this off a lot of turkeys. Well, I guess not as much as last week. All right.
Listen. After this week, after this past week, Fletcher Cox is not going to care about what scheme he's supposed to be, what he's supposed to be doing. He's going to he's going to make sure he gets some hits on Sam Darnold.
Okay. All right. I like this one. The Jersey Shore is mentioned.
1,
2.
Do I hear 3?
Is it the actual Jersey Shore? If they're talking like Snooki, GTL, that kind of thing.
No, it has to be a town in the Jersey Shore, right?
Oh.
So it
specifically Cape May, Zach?
Or just Matt Rule's connection. He still has that. He still has a house on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Okay. 3.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a specific town. Just to be clear, right? Yeah.
I think this is it's alluded to.
All right.
Although if
Yeah.
they say he still has like ties to the Philly area, that doesn't count. They have
That
No,
doesn't count.
to be more
It's gotta say
specific.
But if
Jersey.
Kate May is mentioned, that counts.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone
I'm
want
at
to go to
3 here.
4?
I don't know what this is like. This is like a C team, D team on CBS here.
Jeez, sorry, whoever's announcing the game.
Who is it?
I don't know who it is.
I mean,
I
they
don't
literally
know.
ranked.
You're the
them.
one
They
crushing
literally
them.
They literally called
Jeez.
that.
Unbelievable. this
Jim
guy.
Nance is gonna be so frustrated that you just go in with the team. No, I'm kidding.
All right. Going
I'm
once.
not going to. Yeah.
Sold to Zach for 3. All right.
So quick thing here. Matt Rule still goes to Kate May during the summers. Was there this summer, and everyone's saying they can't wait for the game. And he says, we have 17 of them. Which one? They know which one. He knows which one. This is the only one they cared about. His phone has been buzzing this week. His kids
JB lives for this.
His kids have lived in Philly. They lived in Waco. They live in Charlotte now, but Philly is home for them. Philly will always be home for them. So,
All right.
Waco takes a shot.
This was an interesting submission, but something we've never done. A pylon gets knocked over.
One.
Good. Was this Bo?
Yeah.
It's
You were
Joe
about to
Davis
say
and-
you were about to say good one, and then you realized it was mine, and you stopped yourself.
It's Joe Davis and Greg Olson as the.
Oh, I like Joe
I thought
Davis.
I think Greg Olson has been
I
really
did like.
good. I feel.
Yeah, I actually do like them.
again, he has insight on the Panthers. Yeah. So,
Yeah, there you go.
And the seventh floor crew.
All right. Do
Sorry,
I hear?
what's this on?
Did anyone even bid on this
I
one
have
yet?
one. I have one.
One. Okay.
Two.
I'll go 3.
Just a pylon gets knocked over
Yeah,
and it's
play
caught
at the
on
corner
camera.
of the
Could
end
be
zone.
anything.
Yeah.
A cat could run onto the field and knock it
Yes.
over and it counts.
Yeah.
Okay. 4.
Ooh.
Wow.
I really want to root for the pylon.
Wow,
I'm
it's
going
the most
5.
fun one we've had this year. 5. I don't know. Is my mind playing tricks on me? I feel like this happens. Maybe it's because I have red zone on. I feel like this happens all the time.
I mean, if there's
Somebody
any
dives
play
for the
that's like
pylon.
towards the front corner of
Yeah.
the end zone.
I'll go 6 on this.
Bo, do I hear 7?
If there is a Birds with Friends listener who's going to this game and is sitting, within like the first 10 rows, and it gets like the fourth quarter and it hasn't happened yet, and I'm in a tight one, let's exchange some contact information. You jump out there, knock that pylon over.
Or throw.
send
You can
20
throw
bucks or
something. Like, how good is your
that's
arm?
true.
Will you
throw
bail
something.
this person out of jail? Is the question.
Yeah, I
Will
think
it be
as a
jail?
group- I think as a
Yeah.
group, we could- yeah.
We do not condone any of that on Birds with Friends. Okay.
All right, maybe
Disclaimer.
Maybe like if you're taking your kid, throw your kid out there. I don't want to do anything to them, Have them knock it over. They'll
Or
think
how about
it's
a dog?
Or
We got
a
a
gust of
dog?
wind, maybe. Like
Yeah.
they could, maybe a windy day. Yeah.
I'm going
if it's-
7. I'm
check
going
the
7 on the
forecast.
pylon.
7 for the pylon. Oh baby, damn! I want this one.
Pylon the pylon. Darius.
I've never wanted one of these so bad.
Zach, would you be so mad if the pylon happens and Patrick Mahomes did not have more passing yards than Jalen Hurts?
yes, very much so.
All right,
But-
I'm gonna bow out. I'll give it to you.
All
for
right,
7.
I'll take my
All right,
pylon.
the pylon
mad.
sold to Bo for
This is gonna
7.
burn me, no doubt.
Okay. All right. JJ Arthega-Whiteside catches a pass.
1. He has not been targeted all season.
2.
Ooh, I was really hoping I was going to get that for 1.
No, I couldn't give it to you.
This
for
was
1.
also a Bo submission.
Oh man,
This was a boat. What is wrong with you? Why was it? How did that get into your head?
because he's run all these routes, and never had a target.
Okay, all right.
I'll say 3.
Too rich for my blood.
Yeah, I mean there's no way it's worth more than that.
All right. Sold to Bo for 3.
It's a nice one. That's not bad value. I mean, 1 pass.
Yeah,
Going back
Okay.
near
But
his
they
hometown,
gotta,
right?
They got to do like, they got a tendency break at some point.
Shield did that great story in South Carolina. Back
I
in
apologize.
2000.
I fall for the Kapadia
That
curse.
was-
That whole
it was
draft
a
class, you really
Great
was a good
family.
piece.
Great family, though. Yes.
All right, Zach, buckle up for this one. The broadcast specifically says the exact number of Panthers players who played for
Ooh.
Temple.
2.
That's a good one. Ooh, jumps to 2.
3,
4.
5.
That was a confident 4.
He loves this one. I came up with this one. He's loving
I'm
it.
not putting up, but I wish this one was there instead of the Jersey Shore one. I would have bid higher. I'm not putting, 8 of my 27 turkeys on the broadcaster's whim, right? Like that's.
Do you
I'm
have
not doing
Joe
that.
Davis's contact information?
I mean, I can get it, but that'd be a
Talk about a flexi rexy.
that'd be a real random thing. Like, hey, Joe, can you please mention the a Cape May, New Jersey, and the.
He's probably listening. He
If
does
we
a
had
good
like
job.
if we had like an Adam Amin,
anyone
my
who does
fellow
a good
sports
job,
Indian,
I would
could have
imagine,
done
is
that.
listening to this to prepare.
I'd probably be willing to reach out to like a Kevin Burkhardt for this. I feel.
Oh, I saw him the other day at the end of the Browns game.
Yeah,
Big
he does a
flex.
nice
Very
job.
cool. Yeah,
Does a great job. Great job.
yeah, he's a good guy.
All right.
Jersey guy.
So what are you on, CB, or what am I
I
on?
think you have it for 5. Shield, is that what it
I
is?
did 5 on this. Wow.
No, is that wrong?
Yeah.
4.
Because
5?
Zach
Is
was
Zach
the
started at
confident
2?
4.
Yeah,
Zach
4.
was
You
confident
said
4.
5. Yeah.
All right, 5.
So
So
is
do I
Zach
hear
going
6?
6?
All right, sold to
Bo?
Shield.
Wait, is Bo out?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on this one.
Fight,
How many is it
for the
specifically,
cherry
Zach?
and the white,
Do you know?
for the cherry and the white beef.
How
fight.
many? What is it?
Oh, Zach, you don't know?
5, 6?
Marissa-
Well, no, because the issue is the practice squad, right? Do we
Well,
count
I
the
know
practice
one
squad?
is Colin Thompson. He is a tight end. He played with
Big
Michael.
flex. Okay.
Yeah. So
Son
Robbie
Reddick.
Anderson.
So the big question is
Hassan Reddick.
the practice squad, because so they have Robbie Anderson, Sean Chandler, Sam Franklin Jr., Hassan Reddick, Colin Thompson, PJ Walker on the
Wow.
53,
That's a lot.
and then on the practice squad they have Keith Kirkwood.
Okay, I say if they mention, so what is that, 5 on the active roster?
Well, they have to just say. I mean,
No, yeah, they have to say like the Panthers have.
Oh, they
7
read off the
Temple
list.
play. No, they don't even have to say the names. If they say the Panthers have 7 Temple
Right.
Owls on their roster or something like that
right.
with the exact number.
Okay.
Now, if they read off every single name, does that count?
Yeah.
Only
Okay.
if they say these are the 6 guys or those are the 6 guys. It says they say the exact number.
All right.
All right. This was
Jeez.
Shield submission. So
I'm in your head.
okay. Next, Miles Sanders is the leading rusher on both teams.
Sorry, I got that for 5 or 6. That one.
5. You have 15 left. Zach has 24 left. I have 15 left.
1,
2,
3,
4.
Cowboys gashed them 245
face.
rushing yards last week, I believe.
5,
Do I hear 6? Going once.
6.
Are you just trying to pick me up? Is that your strategy? Or do
No,
you
this
actually
is
think
if Christian McCaffrey doesn't play,
yeah. 7,
No love for a Chuba.
Going once. Going twice. Sold to Z-Berm for
I think that's
7.
good. I think that's a good one.
Oh,
Zach.
we could have gotten like an all-time reaction if you went 8 there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not playing just to make him make faces.
All right. Here we go.
I
This
work
is,
my body language. I need to do a better job with that.
this is from the post-game pod. Sam Darnold puts up 40 or more points.
I forgot this. So what was this?
I think Zach was just saying something like, Sam Darnold's not going to put up 40 points
On this defense or
after
something.
the last 2 teams have.
Gotcha.
Now, for this one, I think we have to clarify: does Sam Darnold have to be the quarterback? It's just the Panthers score 40
team
points.
total. I mean, it's
Okay.
already
Okay.
No,
hard enough.
no. It's the offense total.
The offense
Okay,
has
right?
to score 4.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. If
Who are you, Sean
Jalen
McDermott?
Hurts, if Jalen Hurts throws 2 pick sixes, right?
Yeah, but they
I'm not.
still put up
That's not.
40 points.
I mean, 40 is all right. You guys can make. I'm not bidding on this. You guys can have it.
I
for
think it's the
one.
team
if you
This
want.
is the offense.
Here,
scoring
chat
40
quickly.
points.
Comment: offense or the
I think
Panthers?
it's
total.
team total.
Sean says if Sam Darnold puts up 40 points, I'm not watching another game this season, and Gannon gets
So-
fired on Monday.
I mean, like if Shai Smith returns a punt for a touchdown and CJ Anderson returns an interception for a touchdown,
Yeah, but
Right.
Donald still got them
Okay.
to 40.
The top 5 answers are all offense.
Thank you.
All right.
1. Okay.
Sold to Bo for 1. All right. So to clarify, to make this very clear for tennis, Sam Darnold
stinks. It
or
should
the
be 2.
Panthers offense puts up 40 or more points. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Next. Gannon dials up more than 4 blitzes in the game.
1,
2,
3.
4.
Blitz just defined as 5 or more pass rushers by the charting sites, correct?
Right.
Correct.
Okay. 6.
Do I hear 7?
7.
8. More than 4. Okay, so
Oh, so
4
at
I
least
lose.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I hear 9?
9.
Yeah.
Woo, baby. It's not a lot. I mean,
It's not a lot. That's like
Going once?
10.
Woo! Do I hear 11?
I think you got it for 10.
All right, sold to Shield. Zach,
Guys,
you're
I'm
making
gonna
the
write.
faces again.
I didn't tell you this. I'm gonna have a column tomorrow for the Athletic on how Gannon's too afraid to blitz and
Yeah.
maybe challenge his manhood a little bit or something.
It's good.
Maybe
I think
mail
it's
some
good for.
copies to the NovaCare.
I think it's good for this game to seep into our other professional lives and muddy the waters.
All right.
Brisa, was I making? I was biting my lip. I was purposely
Yeah.
trying not to make
The
a face.
facial expressions are great. I would
Yeah,
don't
no,
tie that
control
down.
that.
No, he
That's
just
the
doesn't
best
want to
part
give
of
it
the
away.
show.
Give it away that he wants it. So he was
Yeah.
like, when they started making that one go higher, he was like,
Yeah, I just, but I'm trying to work my body language in this podcast. So
That seems
No,
like a
the
drop.
faces.
When most people are still just listening.
All right.
That might replace bathing suits.
All right, we got
Okay.
4 left, right?
Yep, 4 left. Okay.
All right.
There is a penalty at some point in the game for a player running out of bounds and then coming back in. Quote, whatever the Helsinki that's called.
it's called
Is that illegal touching?
It's called
Yeah.
illegal
Sometimes
touching.
they just go with like unsportsmanlike conduct.
I think that's
right?
the flag they threw on Urban Meyer. Hey,
Did you
Yeah,
see the Jaguars broke down the
Yes.
team huddle today? with
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Grind? Yeah.
really funny.
Who was the player leading that?
I think it was
Trevor
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, skyrockets up. of
Unbelievable.
my rankings.
Yeah, best quarterback prospect in
Yeah.
30 years now.
I agree. I'll go 1 here.
Yeah, so I mean, if they just say unsportsmanlike, I didn't want to name it because if they just say unsportsmanlike conduct, but they don't say illegal touching, but we all know they'll show the player out of it could be a special teams play. When that happens, it doesn't
Right.
just have to be the thing that Eagles wide receivers tend to do every single week for some reason.
Mm.
Okay.
All right, Bo bid 1. Who's
2. I'm not giving him that for 1.
This is such a this penalty is not called very frequently.
Have you watched this team?
Well, yeah, they got 2 touchdowns.
If Quez Watkins does this week, they need to just fire Aaron Moorhead. Just it's a rule. If this happens to 3 of your receivers, you're fired. That's the rule.
I'm very mild mannered, or I try to be. If they get if this is a penalty that takes points off the board this week, then I will rip into this team more so than I thought.
Guarantee.
Where
Well,
on the Derek Barnett scale?
that would just be egregious. That would be an egregious.
What if Barnett's
error.
the one who does it?
Well,
That would be.
That would
Don't
be
do the
possible,
podcast
yes.
near Zach if that's the case. I would say that. Yeah, I really don't remember seeing this happen in another game this year. I haven't looked it up. I'm sure it has, but
Yeah, let me look it up real quick.
I'm not. I'm not going over 2.
While
I
Zach's
get this
looking
for
that
2.
up.
All right.
While Zach's looking that up real quick, can we get a total turkeys update from
Yes.
the chat? Is
I have
requesting?
3.
Well, Shield, we're giving this to Shield. So
For
I
2.
get this for 2.
For 2.
So I have
He's
3
got
left.
3 left. Zach's got 17 left. I've got 14 left.
Okay.
And there are 3 things left, right?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
So it says it's only been called 3 times, but the Eagles have had it twice.
Yeah, are you looking at NFL penalties?
Yes.
They have a couple of them miss tagged. The first Jalen Reagor one is not tagged as illegal touching for some reason.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So then
There have been a handful, 3 or 4 or something.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Back to the broadcast and our old pal, DJ Moore. The broadcast mentions DJ Moore's high school. I wish they mentioned his college.
Was it, DB?
Got to be a Zach.
Sorry, Marissa. No,
Come
I
on,
put
I
that
know.
one in. But what's the high school?
I looked it up.
Imhotep, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Imhotep.
1.
I think they would just say Philly.
I think so too.
2.
Do I hear 3?
3.
I'm not putting this much on the broadcasters. I'm not like I got to be much more disciplined. Yes.
Joe
So,
Davis, I apologize.
Wow. I got to get in touch with Joe.
All right. So sold to Bo for 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man, I really hope they do that one.
All right.
Okay.
I hope they do it all as part of like a package.
Yeah.
Like a whole Philly connection package. And it's just like they hit all of them.
the Jersey Shore Temple.
Yes. Yes. All right. Jalen Hurts has more rushing touchdowns than Sam Darnold.
So it's got to be
Sam
more.
Darnold, yes. So if they both have 0, it doesn't count.
Yes.
Sam Darnold leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns with 5.
And on a couple of these, he's looked legitimately like much quicker than he did with the Jets. Like there was one last week where I was like, ooh. So, all right. Hurts has more rushing touchdowns than Sam. I'll go 1.
3.
Ah, you dog.
Do I hear
No
4?
Count.
4.
Keep my name out your mouth.
5.
Do I hear 6?
No.
All right. Sold to Bo for 5. Okay. Final one. This is only fitting that Bo and Zach are really the 2 in this one. Sweat and Barnett will have more sacks than Burns and Reddick.
This is tough for Zach because it's the one you want, when you don't.
Yep, exactly.
Please stop with that joke. I have nothing against Derek Barnett. I've offered commentary on his penalties, which I stand by. But actually, I've enjoyed 5 years of covering Derek. I've had no negative interactions with Derek Barnett.
All right.
On that note,
2.
1, 3.
6.
All you, man.
All right. Sold to
Wow.
Bo for 6.
Okay.
This might have been the last super sarcastic.
All right, so Zach,
this feels
1
unhealthy.
Week, 1 week after spending his load, only has 2 things and will carry 17 turkeys over. He has completely overcorrected, just as we.
That's not overcorrected. That is reverting to I'm reverting to the norm.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
So
if anyone
Zach,
knows Joe Davis, send him a few tweets.
so Zach's only 2 this week are a mention of the Jersey Shore,
Which is such a bad one to pick on. Yeah.
and Miles Sanders leads the game in rushing yards. That's not a bad one.
Okay.
Shield has 4. He has Fletcher Cox has a sack. What's the the broadcast mentions exactly how many Temple players there are on the Panthers. The Eagles blitz at least 5 times, and there's an illegal touching call. And I have a pylon gets knocked over. Very excited about that one. JJ Arthega-Whiteside has a catch. Imhotep High School is mentioned. Jalen Hurts has more rushing touchdowns than Sam Darnold. The Sweat Barnett combo has more sacks. And then what's this other one? 40? Offense?
Panthers score 40.
Oh, the Panthers score
Panthers
40. The
offense
offense
scores
scores
40.
40. Okay,
Yeah.
and that one's not going to happen. But okay. So there you go. Exciting stuff. Zach, you want to start us off with Crystal Bald Eagle?
Sure. So I've had a tough time with this game. And interestingly, before the season, I picked this as a Panthers win. Like I said, I had the Eagles starting 1-5. And I've actually been impressed by, I shouldn't say actually, I've been impressed by Carolina this year. As loyal listeners know, I've been bullish on Matt Rule as a coach for quite some time. That said, I think that the Eagles can pull off the upset in this game. I think they're going to play them tough. I was impressed with the way the offense is playing. I think the defense plays better against like non-top quarterbacks. No offense to Matt Ryan. I'm expecting a better performance from the Eagles. Whether that turns into a win, I can't tell you that for sure. But I'm going with, what's the over-under in this, 45?
I don't know.
45.5. Panthers are favored by 3.
45.5. So I'm going with Eagles 24, Panthers 23.
Okay.
Got the upset.
All
right.
Eagles are 3.5-point underdogs in this game.
Oh, I have it as 3 right now.
Oh, did it move?
3, yeah. There you go. Maybe your pick moved the line.
Yeah, they do change after that gets published.
I think that's right. I'll go. I'll let you close it out. Like Zach, I'm going back and forth here. Haven't thought about what I'm going to pick until this soliloquy ends. I think they got a shot. I don't think the Panthers are that good. Like, I think they're fine, but I think this is a good matchup for the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts has a good game. I actually, as much as I want them to win this game so that I can hit my other crystal ball eagle prediction, I think the Panthers are going to win this game. I'm going to go Panthers 27-24.
Okay. I think the Eagles' defensive line is going to tee off in this game. I think that Panthers' offensive line has issues. Eagles' defensive line probably has hurt feelings, hurt pride, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure they got some tough coaching this week, watching the film of how much they got dominated last week against the Chiefs. So I think they'll come into this game with the right mentality. I think Sam Darnold will turn the ball over if you let him, if you pressure him. So it's a matter of just capitalizing on those plays when you have the opportunity. The Eagles offense last week, I mean, they drive into Chiefs territory on every single offensive possession. So I think you can have that type of game plan here. I think the Panthers defense losing Shaq Thompson, that hurts. They don't have J.C. Horn, their first round pick. So they're a little banged up there. I like them overall, but I don't think they're defensive juggernauts. And so I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I have Eagles 27, Panthers 23.
There you go.
So all of us are going with the over.
Suckers.
So. That's right. I like when you're a little bit more definitive about it, though, Zach. The over will hit in this game.
I am 2-2 this year against the spread and straight up. What about you guys?
I think 3-1.
I think that's right.
I think, yeah.
Falcons, Niners.
I got Niners wrong. We picked the Eagles to win that game.
Right. So Falcons, Cowboys, Chiefs. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
3-1. Okay.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Birds with Friends. Thanks for listening. We'll be back Sunday evening with the post-game pod, and then we turn the page to a short week with the Bucs. Maybe we're going to do that. Sheil and special guest initial post-game pod following the Thursday game until Zach.
Oh, we are doing that?
Maybe.
I thought you didn't want to do that.
Maybe.
Okay. Oh, you got to let me know in advance. I mean, listen, I can't just be waking up that morning. Right,
real quick, just some quick plugs. As I learned from watching Shields from ZB and the Wolf, plugs are important. Yeah. In 6 minutes, I will be doing a live chat on The Athletic. You can check that out. You can check out Bo and I had an email exchange where we got into some of the topics we discussed today, but kind of looking big picture at the Eagles after a quarter mark of the season. And we will have all you need to know going into this game in the cheat sheet, which will come out Friday. And, of course, comprehensive post-game coverage. There will be a column after the game and Bo's day after column Monday, which is it's the first thing I read on Monday mornings. Well, it's actually not the first thing I read on Monday mornings because it's not up when I wake up on Monday mornings, but it's the minute it gets up, I read it because I know when it's time to go up. So make sure you check all that out on The Athletic.
And of course, The Athletic's YouTube page, ZB and the Wolf. Go watch it, rate it, comment, or it will disappear from your lives, and that'll be your own fault.
That's right. And make sure you follow Marissa on Instagram.
I don't think Marissa wants that. Yeah.
Tweet at me about any of the swoopers. I will be at a wedding on Sunday, so
big flex.
Yeah,
leave Marissa the hell alone. Is the proper
no, I would love to see. I would love to see anyone sending a photo of the pylon knocked over. So
and
tweet at me.
Huge week for all 4 of our alma maters. Syracuse goes up against undefeated Wake Forest. That's a big one. Maryland against Ohio State. That's gonna be a good game to watch. And of course, the game of the weekend, Penn State, Iowa. So all 4 of our alma maters are in action.
We should have got to something for Wake Forest, Syracuse. Oh well. Maybe we can figure it out.
Put an insomnia cookie on it.
Hashtag BWF road trip and some stakes for Wake Forest, Syracuse.
That's good.
All right, I gotta go.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting. And as always, we love you.